choked on everything. And we were kind of yelling into the abyss for validation in a way, but also very scary.
It's a level of commitment that not many people can really relate to.
The reality is that she will have challenges for the rest of her life. So in utero, she had a few abnormalities like genetic red flags. Nothing that was like life limiting by any means, just markers. And they kept a really close eye on her. So she was born full term, normal delivery, and everything seemingly felt fine at first. However, she was unable to latch. So that was our first kind of clue that feeding was going to be a big difficulty for us. So we started out with a family pediatrician, and we started noticing that she was doing some weird posturing where she would like bring her head back and twist her body like kind of over and over and over, and she'd be seemingly uncomfortable. And so we brought it up to our family doctor first, and he just wanted to refer her to neurology, which is a scary thing to hear for the first time because you're like, okay, something is definitely amiss. However, we couldn't get into neurology for 9+ months. I am a nurse, so I think that's probably why we got to a diagnosis a little bit sooner. I never worked in pediatrics or anything, so that was completely new to me. But I think that when you speak the language at the hospital and you know how specialties work and how they all communicate, it's kind of a little bit easier to advocate. So I'm grateful for that because all my years of nursing have made me a stronger advocate for Veda. So we ended up switching pediatricians, and found someone who was willing to advocate for us more. And then Veda ended up being admitted to rule out seizures because of that repetitive body posturing she was doing. She was not having seizures at the time, so they realized it was a really severe silent reflux. She couldn't swallow any textures or liquids successfully. She choked on everything. And we didn't get to that point until she was 6 months old. So we were struggling. Come to find out she was choking the whole time. So then once they saw that she was having aspiration issues, they put in an order to see genetics, and then genetics ended up doing testing, and then we saw she was missing that gene, the tip of her 10th chromosome, and both of us were tested, and so it was a de novo, completely random case. But since then, I feel like people took us a little bit more seriously. I felt like we were kind of yelling into the abyss for a long time where everyone's like, oh, babies have reflux. Reflux is normal. She don't attach yourself to milestones. Babies develop at their own pace. People want to tell you their stories a lot of happy, my kid ended up fine. It's totally fine. They were just behind. So getting a diagnosis is kind of like validation in a way, but also very scary.
Molly always says like she's learning on her own map. It's kind of the way we've looked at it, and crawling just isn't important to her, even though we feel like she could do it.
Yeah, motivation has been like an interesting component.
It's super eye opening. I mean, going back to just watching Molly advocate in the health system was probably my first time noticing like this isn't going to be easy and it's going to be way different. All of the therapy appointments that she goes to every week, it's like multiple appointments in one day some days. And I think it's just a level of commitment that not many people can really relate to. People just don't really want to talk about it either, or they don't want to like really know that there's something wrong with your kid and acknowledge it and have to like converse about that because that's uncomfortable.
They want to take the optimistic side, which it's great to have an optimistic side or viewpoint on things, but sometimes the reality is that she will have challenges for the rest of her life, and we don't know what those will necessarily end up being, but it's scary. Stay at home mom, and I didn't plan on it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, the grueling therapy schedule, like I can't imagine her going with anyone else but me, you know. There's no way to get around saying that weekly therapy is just some weeks they're great and you feel good and you're just like, yes, she's progressing. This is amazing. But the progression can be really slow. So some weeks you leave and you're just kind of like bummed, you know, because you're like, you know, her tone was low to this week, and it just makes you sad when you don't see the progression sometimes. It would mean the world.
Yeah, just like hope and something that you is hasn't been there, I guess. Like a real potential solution.
The fact that we could take steps to ensure that Veda's quality of life is better than it would have been otherwise, or just removing some roadblocks or obstacles that are ahead of her, giving her an opportunity to participate with kids her age and not feel so extremely held back.
Hey.
The camera loves her. What can she say? You know. Bye.